Hey guys, welcome back to my channel, Keeping Up with Kiki, the A to Z self-love video series. How are you doing this Sunday? How are you guys doing this Sunday? Don't you just love Sundays? I absolutely adore Sundays. Sundays for me are just a chill day. You can listen to good music, cook good food, spend time with the family. Forget that you got to go to work in a couple more hours, but on a whole, I absolutely adore Sundays. Absolutely adore Sundays. But anyway, I'm going off topic. Let's speak about the reason why you guys are here today. And yeah, so this week's video is inspired by the letter Z or Z. Potato, potato, tomato, tomato. Let me tell you today's video quote of the day. And it goes a little something like this. And for those of you who want to start any trouble, I have a zero tolerance policy. That's by Simone Elkeles. Simone Elkeles. I'm not too sure about how that name goes, but the quote's there. The quote is there, so you can check that out. So yeah, today's video is about zero tolerance. It's pretty much self-explanatory, guys. Zero tolerance. It's 2020 and it's time for zero tolerance. There is so much things going on in and around this world, you know, that we need to have zero tolerance for. There's been people, things, situations that we have either accepted for way too long, or things that possibly may happen where we might endure or experience which we shouldn't do, and we have to have zero tolerance policy. Hold them people or that person or that thing accountable. It's 2020, people. There is no reason why we should be facing racism, sexism, homophobia, discrimination, inequality, you name it. We shouldn't be doing this in 2020. So I would advise you guys to have a zero tolerance policy on anything that you feel is violating yourself personally, or it's just out there morally wrong. This video is going to be basically very short, because what more is there really to say, on a zero tolerance policy? My thing for 2020 is, if it doesn't meet my needs, if it doesn't satisfy me, if it doesn't make me feel whole and happy and content, I'm saying no. There's a zero tolerance policy. No, I'm not going to accept it if I don't want to. I don't need to be burdened with anything. It is what it is. I've said my no's, and just keep going. Keep going. Keep going. So, it was quite difficult this week, to find something to really talk about inspired by the letter Z, because there's not really much words that begin with Z other than maybe zodiac or Zen. And I could speak about those topics, don't get me wrong. I'm a Pisces, by the way. And as for Zen, I talk a bit more about that when we get to the topic M, because I'm going to kind of cover that in my meditation. That's going to be one of the topics I'm going to talk about. We want to start manifesting good things for ourselves, and not only for ourselves but for the world. So any form of negativity, any low vibrations, any of that kind of sort that's going to try and displace yourself or displace other things or people or places, whatever, we've got to say no. We've got to stick together, guys, and say no. Have a united front on anything that we kind of feel that we stand for. We're tired of all this conformist kind of living. No more. 2020 is about abundance, about manifestation, about alignment, about elevation of ourselves and people and the world in general. So definitely take my advice this week. Work on your zero tolerance policy. Figure out what it is that you are not going to tolerate no more. Now at present, in the future, forgive yourself for whatever you kind of tolerated before, but that time has passed, so you're okay. You made it, you're here, you made it through. Take a note of what you're not going to tolerate anymore. You're going to have a zero tolerance policy, and if anybody steps on your toes, tell them straight up, stop right there. Zero tolerance policy. That doesn't sit well with me. I'm not going to address it any further. Let's move on to the next topic. As this video is so short, guys, I thought that I would show you some of the books that I recommend reading and working through during the self-love journey. The first book I have here is Iyanla Vanzant, Living Through the Meantime, Learning to Break the Patterns of the Past and Begin the Healing Process. This book, guys, has been a staple of mine for a very long time. It never fails to deliver. Every now and then when I feel a bit stuck, she's got so many other titles that you can actually look through. Just look through her catalogue. She's an amazing author, but also a kind of community leader, a spiritual healer, all the above basically. But this is an amazing book, guys, to take a look at. The second book I recommend you reading is Break Up, Don't Break Down by D.Ivan. This book I actually came across whilst I was at work. For those of you who already know, I actually quit my job, and because it was way too stressful and it was a big part of my unhappiness. And they had a library there, and yeah, I was at the table. I was on my break one day, and I just suddenly turned around and they had a bookshelf there, and for some reason, as I like reading and I enjoy reading, I thought, that would be good. Let me go and just have a look at what titles they've got. And I came across this. I haven't returned it. Not bad. But it is an amazing book that speaks about, rather than keeping yourself stuck, keeping yourself unhappy, rather than breaking down, you need to break up with whatever relationship or problem it is that you have in your life and learn how to move on. A great read, guys. Check that out. I will leave all these details of these books in the description. Another book that I have, it's a book, but it's slash kind of like a journal activity book. So it tells you about certain things, but asks you to kind of do exercises about the journey that you're going through. So this is called The Spiritual Guide to Attracting Prosperity by Carolyn, if I've said that correctly. How to manifest the prosperity you deserve. So that's also a good book, guys, that you can read, have a look at, do some activities and work on yourself. This book here is called The Book of You, Daily Micro Actions for a Happier, Healthier You. It doesn't actually say who this book is by. Let me just quickly check. No, but I will show you the cover anyway. It's got a foreword by Jamie Oliver. And as you can see, these are all my notes, guys. These are all my little sticky notes that I have in this book. That's how great the book is. Let's just open a random page. And it's come up and says, a random act of kindness. Kindness makes us feel good. That's clear. But did you know that kindness is also linked to happiness and health on a biochemical level? Kindness causes the release of oxytocin and dopamine in the brain, which contributes to reducing inflammation in the body and can slow the aging process. Who could you show a random act of kindness to today? So it's got some great little tips, guys. Hope my finger's not in the way. But yeah, also a great read, guys. A great read, as you can see. And I'm learning from these things every day. And finally, I was gifted this book by a friend of mine for my birthday. And it's basically similar to the last book, which is like full of daily affirmations, but it goes by the calendar. And this book is called Start Your Day with Katie, 365 Affirmations for a Year of Positive Thinking by Katie Piper. So some of you guys may know Katie Piper. She was a British lady who was who suffered a traumatic acid attack here in London, and basically she's written a few other books, I think, as well, and she's done presenting and so forth. But basically, she had a tough time, but has journaled kind of her her journey throughout, you know, her process of, you know, her attack and so forth. So yeah, this is a great read. And like I said, daily affirmation, let me just read today, which is Sunday the 2nd of February. It says, look in the mirror every day and remind yourself what you want from life. Say it out loud like you mean it and want it, and send it into the universe from where it can't be taken back. Guys, look at the synchronicity. Look at the synchronicity. What is the chances of this being today's affirmation when we are talking about our self-love journey? And this is describing, you know, telling you, look at yourself, you know, ask yourself what you want from life. I keep telling you guys, I'm spiritual. And I believe everything happens for a reason. And there's a reason why I decided to add in these recommendations today to this video. So yeah, do check out any of those books. So guys, I'd love to know how your journey's been going. So next week's video, we are going to be discussing topics inspired by the letter I. I can't wait for that. Thank you so much for watching, guys. Have a blessed rest of your Sunday. I will see you next week. I'm forever grateful for your support. Take care.